So hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the new video of Engineer by Chance. So today DIY project is on our bike which is 2014 model Apache RTR 180 BS3 variant. So we have to build our bike because the odometer reading is, you can see, is 1,41,016.9 kilometers. This bike has been done. Now we have to disassemble this engine and let's start the process and just diagnose the which part is has more wear and tear. Let's continue the video. So we just disassemble the engine from the chassis and now we are starting the disassembly of the engine. So first we are starting from top and then go all the way to the bottom and see the condition of the engine. There has been lots of leakage in the engine in bottom end and head also. Let's continue. दोस्तों अब हमने क्या है कि इसमें जो हमने सब चीज़ को डिसअसेंबल कर दिया। अब हमने करना क्या है कि जो हमारा ये है आपका ये इंटेक का एग्जॉस्ट, आज हम क्या कर रहे हैं इस गाड़ी का थोड़ा सा पावर आउटपुट और प्लस थ्रॉटल रिस्पांस बढ़ाने के लिए। तो हम इसको क्या है इसका पोर्ट थोड़ा बड़ा कर रहे हैं। इसको बोलते हैं नॉर्मली पोर्टिंग एंड पॉलिशिंग। पहले पोर्टिंग मतलब मटेरियल रिमूव कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद उसकी पॉलिशिंग मतलब स्मूथनेस बढ़ाएंगे दोनों पोर्ट को। यहाँ से भी हम इसको थोड़ा सा साइज ओवर साइज करेंगे, हल्का हल्का यहाँ से भी करा हमने और यहाँ का भी करना बाकी है। तो इससे होगा ये कि इसमें गाड़ी का आपका थ्रॉटल रिस्पांस और जो एयर फ्लो है, एयर और फ्यूल का जो चार्ज जा रहा है इंजन के अंदर, वो स्मूथली जाएगा विदाउट किसी टर्बुलेंस के। तो उससे गाड़ी के क्या आइडलिंग होना अच्छी, स्टार्ट होना, थ्रॉटल रिस्पॉन्स अच्छा होना थोड़ा। और इससे क्या होता है 5 से 10% पावर का इंक्रीमेंट होता है गाड़ी में। एक तरह स्टेज 1 पे हम काम कर रहे हैं अभी, ठीक है। स्टेज 2 उसके बाद होता है। तो हम कंटिन्यू करते हैं इसको, फिर फाइनल चीज़ दिखाते हैं आपको। Done the porting and the polishing in the intake and exhaust port. This is the exhaust port. You can see the finishing of the exhaust port, okay, and from there you also see. And this is the intake port, okay, and you can see there, okay. Now for the compare, this is the stock manifold rubber. This is the original size of the port and this is the after the result of the porting. Now we have to also do the coating on the head. We have to remove the material from there. And what the reason for doing that? The reason is doing that to increase the maximum capacity of the clearance volume. And we have to increase the power, so we have to give the more fuel. And if we giving the more fuel, so we have to increase also the clearance volume. I'm not saying that you do it at home and do it any specific vehicle. And because for this you have to know the very specific terms and have some precaution, because if you do not take the precaution and have not the proper tool and experience, you will damage your head permanently. We are engineer, we study about this thing and also have experience. That's why we are doing. So I explained all the terms and conditions that has been applied to this head. So we are also planning to increase the cc of the engine, but there has been one problem with that. If we increase the cc of the engine, the sleeve size very close back to the secondary air section port. This is the stock block of the engine. So this is the thickness of the sleeve. And if we increase the piston size, stock piston is 62 point something mm, and if we increase the 200cc piston and use the 200cc piston, the size of the 200cc piston is 66 mm. So if we increase the 66 mm, we also increase the bore size and the sleeve size. And if we increase the sleeve size, the sleeve is sleeve and this port have very less amount of space. Due to this, structure integrity of this cavity has been compromised, and maybe due to the high pressure in the engine, it can be cracked and our engine can be failed easily. Okay, and we don't want that. Okay, so that's why use the original standard sleeve, change the sleeve, use the original 180cc sleeve and standard piston, and we increasing the port of the engine, also increase the clearance volume. And after that we have the increment of power, I think 10 to 15%. So this is we are planning. This is a pencil grinder and it is a pneumatic power. It is run by the air pressure and it's have a RPM of 22,000. Okay, this is a bit for removing the material. After that we have different type of bits and sanding items to polish that surface for smoothing of the surface. Okay, we are continuing the process. So now our step is this: we are going to the machine shop for doing some lathe work. We will tell you about this further in the video. So guys, we finally reached the shop और अभी हमारे जो कंपोनेंट लाए थे इंजन के, उनमें काम हो रहा है और आपको थोड़ा क्लिप दिखाते हैं कि क्या क्या काम हो रहा है. Now we are introducing वसीम भाई. He is one of the specialist lathe work in the हल्द्वानी. हम उनसे कुछ उनकी ज़ुबानी पूछते हैं.
मेरा नाम मोहम्मद वसीम सैफ़ी है और मुझे 32 साल हो गए इस लाइन में. टू व्हीलर ऑटो इंजीनियरिंग वर्कशॉप है मेरी और बोरिंग का काम करते हुए मुझे 32 साल हो गए. जितनी भी गाड़ी टू व्हीलर थ्री व्हीलर है अपने यहाँ सब ओवरऑल इंजन होते हैं. बोरिंग का काम, क्रैंक, पिस्टन, हेड बोरिंग, शोकर रॉड, टी, अलाई व्हील और अलाई व्हील का काम. और आपका जितना भी जॉब वर्क है लेथ का, कोई भी काम हो, प्रोडक्शन वगैरह, हम सब करते हैं. हमारी जो शॉप है हल्द्वानी के अंदर जवान नगर जाम फैक्ट्री, टनकपुर रोड, वार्ड नंबर 14. ये हमारा अपाची RTR का क्लच होजिंग है और इसकी स्प्रिंगें ढीली हो गई हैं और हमने इसमें स्प्रिंग किट चेंज करी है ताकि जो हमारा जो क्लच है ना वर्किंग बराबर करे और क्लच प्लेटें हमारी स्मूथ रहें. क्लच प्लेटें हमारी जल्दी ख़राब ना हो. और दूसरी बात ये है गाड़ी लॉन्ग लाइफ रहती है. ये अपाची RTR का ये ब्लॉक है. इस ब्लॉक में जो है ना, ये ब्लॉक हो गया था, ये ख़त्म, तो अब इसमें नई स्लिप लगी है. अब ये स्टैंडर्ड पर तैयार हो रहा है. अब ये प्रेस से स्लिप बैठ रही है.
क्रैंक में क्या है कि क्रैंक की न्यू बेरिंग हमने चेंज कर रहे हैं, जो जिसको निडल बेरिंग बोलते हैं. तो उसके हिसाब से उसको फ्री और उसकी अल्ट्रेशन करनी पड़ती है कि जाके फ्री भी चले और इसमें प्ले भी नहीं आए.
देखो ये हमारी अपाची RTR की क्रैंक है. ये कनेक्टिंग रोड है, ये कनेक्टिंग रोड का बेरिंग है, ये पिन है. अभी हमने इसमें असेंबली न्यू डाली है और हम आपको इसका फिटिंग करने का तरीका बताएंगे. ये जो पिन का जो छेद होता है ना, ये ऑयल के लिए होता है. ये वाला, ये यहाँ से ऑयल पुश जाता है पंप से, यहाँ से ऑयल निकलता है. ये जो सुराख होता है ये बेरिंग की टाइमिंग के वायर होता है ताकि मोबिल मिले बेरिंग को भी. ये हमारी कंप्लीट असेंबली फिट हो चुकी है. अब हम इसे फिट करने के लिए जा रहे हैं. ये अब हम इसे बुनिया से सेंटर कर रहे हैं. अब ये जाएगी प्रेस मशीन पे. अभी हमारी क्रैंक प्रेस हो रही है, ये फिटिंग हो रही है। ये हमारी क्रैंक प्रेस हो गई है। अभी हम इसका अलाइनमेंट करेंगे। इसका क्रैंक का बैलेंस हो रहा है, अलाइनमेंट हो रहा है इसका अलाइनमेंट हो रहा है ताकि हमारा बैलेंस बराबर रहे और गियर वगैरह हमारा कोई चीज़ आवाज़ ना करे। ये लो हमारा जो है स्टेप अलाइनमेंट बिल्कुल सक्सेसफुल है।
अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हमारी हेड में हम जो हेड की सीट है उसको चेंज कर रहे हैं, हेड की गाइडें चेंज करेंगे और वेल्व को हिसाब से इसकी लैपिंग करेंगे ताकि वेल्व अंदर सीट करे, क्योंकि वेल्व आप नहीं लेते तो आपको सीट के हिसाब से उसकी लैपिंग करनी पड़ती है। ओके, so guys, we finally reached the shop and all the machine work has been done. Now we are briefing you about the parts that has been replaced and the cause of replacement. So first we are talking about head cover, in which there are two rockers and the rockers has been wear out because of the longer period of wear and tear. Okay, this is an old rocker and we are using new rockers of genuine TVS. Second, we have valves. There has been wear out. Okay, lots of carbon deposit in there, so we are replacing also that. This is a new valves we are changing. It is genuine Usha brand valves. So now the head cover seal, we also changing that and using the genuine head cover seal. This is the head cover seal. Okay, genuine TVS. Now we are changing the timing chain also, because if you use timing chain has been expand due to the longer period of time and longer period of use, so we are also changing timing chain and we are using Rollon company timing chain that has been also vendor of the timing chain kit. We also changed the valve guides. Valve guides means valve is moved ups and down in there in this cavity, okay, hollow tube, so it has been wear out, that's why we are changing them. Also changing the camshaft because the engine has been very old and the cam loops has been wear out. You can see the outer border of the line and the wear out area. This is a new camshaft that has been changing RTR, genuine TVS. We also do the lapping work in the valve seat, change the guides. We also do the porting in the engine. In previously we just explained to you, okay, and we also make the threads in there because the threads have been wear out. Now we have to come to the block. Old sleeve have has been wear out to the extent of the service limit, so the piston which we find out is 25.25 oversized piston that has been fitted in this engine. Okay, so we don't want to switch to 0.50 mm, so we just change the sleeve and do the 2.25 oversized piston in there. And the brand that has been used is Usha, that has been the genuine vendor of the company. Now this is a piston that has been wear out. Okay, you can see there, that's why we're changing that. This is the rings, cam gear. Now this is a magnet cover. Magnet coil is perfectly fine, there has been no wear and tear in there, so we are using that, but we are replacing all the gaskets. Now we have clutch plates. This is the clutch plates, old one, so we are using the FCC clutch plates. This is a genuine FCC clutch plate, and the FCC is the genuine original vendor of the company. It is a pressure plate. We also changing the pressure plates because it will old one and never be changed and have scratches. You can see the scratches in the pressure plate. That's why we are changing the pressure plate, and it is a genuine TVS pressure plate, also manufactured by FCC. After that, we are also changing hub and center of the housing, so we are using the original TVS hub and center. It also has been wear out, see the scratches and have some wear imprint of the clutch plates. Due to this, the clutch will not sit properly. Now we come to the clutch housing, in which the clutch and pressure plate and hub center will fit. So it's have a play like back and forth, but we change the spring of the clutch housing. Due to that, the play has been gone. Our clutch holder plate is good condition, so we do not change that. Now we have come to the magnet. So in magnet everything is perfect, but we changing the this assembly. It is called one-way assembly, and we are also using the genuine one-way assembly or genuine vendor of the manufacturer of the this assembly is IANA. Okay, it is a German company also. So now we come to the clutch cover. We change the oil seal or all the seals of clutch cover, and one thread has been worn out, so we rework of the we done the rework of the threads. Now this is our clutch chamber, left hand side and right hand side. This is so clean because we clean them. Okay, don't think that it will be already cleaned out. Now crankshaft. This is a connecting rod of the crankshaft. It is a part of crankshaft. As you see, there has been some wear out, little bit of wear out. The wear out is less in there, but in needle bearing the wear out is more. That's why the connecting rod have this much play. Due to this, the piston has been wear out from the sideways and not have a proper lifespan. So we just place the whole connecting kit with pin, needle bearing and connecting rod. And it is a original TVS connecting rod. Okay, and it is also more stronger than the previous one. You can see the comparison between them. We also done that because we do the coating work and for increasing the power of the engine. That's why we also use the more rigid connecting rod for compensate the power. So this is a gearbox assembly in the engine, bike engine. This is all the gearbox components, not more than that. Okay, it is simple. We check the gearbox teeth by vernier caliper, then also to check the pitch of the every cut in there. Okay, and there has been no problem in the gears, both input and output shaft. This is a shifter rod, shifter pin and gear selector and selector pin, and it is not, there has been no wear out. It is a very minimum negligible wear. We are using it again. And this is a roller of the selector, and if it has been wear, so we have to change that, but there has been no wear. Okay, also in output shaft selector there also has been no wear. Finally the crucial part is selector drum, and there has been also no wear, so it will be good condition, then there has been no need to replace them. Finally the bearings, there are two main crank bearings, left and right side, gearbox 2 bearings, after that 2 bearings this. So we changed all the bearings. So this is a general overview of the engine that has been wear out, and what the part wear out and why we are changing the parts, and what are parts we are using, whether it is genuine or whether it is the aftermarket vendor parts. So finally we are going to the process to assembly the engine. So further process, you enjoy the time lapse. Guys, we are just installing the gearbox in the engine, and I just freshly installed the crankshaft that had been late work recently. Okay, so this is your output shaft from where the drive pocket is fit, main front sprocket in your common language, and it is the input shaft that has been drive by the crankshaft. Okay, so it not fitment like this, it will opposite fitment. Okay, whenever you fit it, it have an equal and opposite fitment. The output shaft is positioned like this, and the input shaft is not just like this. The position is like this, and you have to fit this gear into this. Okay, and it is also common in every single cylinder bike, or most probably every bike that has been used by you, commonly used. Okay, and there another thing you have to remember, there has been one washer that has been placed between this bearing and this shaft. Okay, this washer of output shaft, and there has been also washer, bigger washer, upside down. Okay, in upper position. Okay, and in input shaft there has been 3 washer. I will show you. So first of all, you have to fit this washer which has the thickness more than this washer. It is thin and it is thick. So thick ones come first. You have to put it like this. There has been no orientation of this. Okay. After that, you have to fit this washer, which have a smaller needle bearing and rollers. Okay. Like this. And finally, this thin washer. Okay. They have no orientation that you have to put it downward, upward. There has been no orientation of like this. Okay. So you have to clean this gearbox properly when you are installing. There is one hole passes for oil circulation. Okay, both input and output shot. So you simply have to put it down like this, as I am doing, and there you go. Your gearbox has been fitted. So guys, we just assemble the gearbox and the crankshaft between the both chambers, and also tighten the bolts and torque them. And there has been 9 bolts which are situated in this specific position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So these are the main bolts, and 3 are inside the chamber. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Outer is 9 and 3 is inside the magnet cover. Okay, so we just installed, and we are using torque wrench, and we are applying 7.5 Nm Newton meter. We torque down the bolts, and now we are going all the way to 10 Newton meters. Okay, so if you are torquing the bolts, you have to have a specific value given by the company in which you have to torque the bolts. Excessive force will strip your bolts and threads of the chamber, and if you apply the minimum force, then the chamber will not tighten, and the engine will have no smooth operation and vibration and leakage problem. So you have to optimum torque to apply on these bolts. Okay, so for that, how can you measure the torque? You can measure the torque by using this type of torque range. The range of this torque range is 5 Newton meter to 25 Newton meters. Okay. For a smaller bolt, I think you have to apply 10 Newton meter is sufficient for them. Okay. Now torque them. Let's continue. guys, we finally assemble the clutch, hub and center clutch plate, pressure plate and housing, primary gear and also your oil pump. So now we are finally going to the process of the installing the clutch cover. We also change the seal of the clutch shaft push lever, and also change the oil seal of the oil pump. There has been one seal that has been changed. We have to change is kick shaft seal. Okay. Now we change that and then assemble the clutch cover, and our right hand side assembly has been completed now. So guys, we finally assemble the bottom end of the engine, in which we assemble the gearbox, crankshaft, magnet side assembly, your self motor, magnet, one way, and also timing chain. And clutch side we install clutch plate, pressure plates, holder bracket plate and bearing, and hub and center, and also the filter, oil seal, etc. So now we have to go top and side of the engine, in which we have to assemble block, and after that head. For block we have to adjust the piston ring and gap, and after that we just install the head and block, and then our engine is finally assembled. Let's move forward. So guys, we finally adjust the ring and gap of the engine. So there has been 5 rings. These 2 rings are compression ring, and these are responsible for the compression on the engine. And these 3 rings are oil rings, and this ring is we are called scraper ring. These rings have a major role for controlling the oil from going inside the combustion chamber. And what is the value that we are adjust the ring and gap? So top one ring we just adjusted in 0.14 mm, and top 2, this one we adjusted it 0.11 0.11 mm. For oil 1, this one 0.15, and oil 2 for this is 0.12 mm. And for this ring we don't have to adjust the gap adjustment. Okay, majorly 4 ring we have to adjust the ring gap. So why we are doing this? This has a major role and a major impact on the engine performance. When there has been no gap in the ring, when we put it down in the block, then the engine have an issue of smoking, as well as piston is get hard and also get seized, or whether ring has been broken down. Why it is so? When the ring is situated in these groups, and when the blast is occurred in power stroke, the gases are produced. Due to the high pressure and gas, ring will expand. For this, the engineer that has been designed this engine, they give the specific ring and gaps for the engine. So now for this we are using the Usha genuine piston, and it is 0.25 oversize, and we also get the 2 lock pin which are situated, one is here and second is here, and between them there has been one piston pin which lies between the connecting rod and connect the piston. So now start the installing the block, and after that installing the head. So guys, we finally installed the piston into crankshaft and also block. So one of the step has been completed. Now the final step is install the head. So for installing the head, we have also grab the head and install the valves, springs, valve seals and other accessories. So let's continue. So previously I told you that we just have some alteration in the head, which is commonly known as the porting and polishing of the head. So we done the porting and polishing in our own shop by ourselves. So this is an intake valve and exhaust valve. Why do we do the porting in the head? Because if we do the porting and the polishing in the ports, so the volumetric efficiency of the ports has been increased and the turbulence inside the ports has been decreased. The cause of that, the flow of the air fuel charge has been smoothly comes in the combustion chamber and smoothly exit from the exhaust ports. We also increase the clearance volume of the head, and you see the cavity. We also put that because we want to make the port more dense. The clearance volume has been increased, but if the clearance volume has been increased, the compression ratio also decreases, and we also increase the size of this port. Let's start the assembly of the head. So guys, we finally assembled the head and block, and now tighten the head using torque wrench. So there has been 4 bolts of 12 mm and 4 copper washer. Okay, so you have to simply put the copper washer in their place. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, after that you just apply little bit of Loctite like this and tighten the bolt. And for bolt you have to use a crisscross pattern. Crisscross pattern means 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 like this pattern. We are doing this because the head will equally tighten down to the block. So let's start it. So guys, we finally torqued the nuts of the head stud by the torque wrench, and we started from 10 Newton meter, then 12.5 Newton meter, then 17.5 Newton meter, and all the way to 17.5 Newton meter, and these are sufficient for the head stud. So let's start the further working, and further we have to install the camshaft. In a head cover we install the rockers, and finally we have to make the timing and then adjust the tappets. Okay, now start the process. So guys, finally we just finished the engine, and also install the block head and head cover, and tighten all the board by torque wrench, and also adjust the timing of the engine, and matching the timing of the camshaft and as to the crankshaft. Okay, so also install the tensioner and the oil passage circulation line. So now we have to adjust the valve clearance. As you see, there is too much play. Right now we are adjusting it exhaust for 0.07 mm and intake is 0.05 mm. Okay, so for initial start we will adjust it at this value, but after the server run, when we do the engine braking of the engine, then tappet will again loosen. So after that, the final adjustment of the tappet we will done further. Now we are doing the adjustment of the valve clearance, and we will meet you further. So guys, finally we assembled the engine, and now our step is to install the engine back to the chassis. Before doing that, we have a manifold rubber, and this rubber is stock size, but we poured the intake manifold. That's why we have to also increase the inner dia of this manifold or match this diameter to this diameter of this manifold. For doing that, we are using a stone grinder wheel for increasing the inner dia of the rubber manifold. So we have to do that, and after that we just install the engine. Guys, we finally installed the engine to the chassis and also tightened the housing bolts, and there has been one bracket plate we have to install also. This is pending, and the main interest of this build is we are using Apache 200cc carburetor in 180cc engine. So we also do the porting. That's why we think that for more power we have to give more fuel to the engine. We think that we can use the 180 carburetor and do some jetting and increase the fuel comparatively to Apache 200cc carburetor. But there has been a problem with this particular model. We can't find the bigger jet for that, so we just ignore that. And also the carburetor is used approximate 1,40,000 kilometers, so the wear and tear also happened, so we can't get the optimal performance by this carburetor. So that's why we installed the new 200cc carburetor to the engine, and we also adjust the manifold rubber on this carburetor, and now we install the carburetor and do some other wiring. We have to good to go and start the engine. We just assembled all the assembly of the engine and also started the engine as you previously see. So we have to change the cone set because the handle is not working properly. Sometimes feel like that some place it will be very hard to move and some place it is very free. That's why we're changing the cone set of this bike, and we are using the genuine TVS cone set. So we start that, and you will see the forward the process, and let's continue. So fellas, we finally assembled the engine and our DIY project is completed, 90%. So we just come here to wash our bike, and the honest review that has been come after the first service of the bike, between 500 kilometers. We will ride this bike, and after that we will give you the honest review whether the performance has increased or not, and what is the effect on the throttle and pickup. So stay tuned for that.